Friday, March 1st, 2024, Daily Bread. Title: Do you want to get well? John chapter 5, verse 1 to 15, key verse 6. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" The healing at the pool. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem, near the sheep gate, a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethsaida, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." At once, the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath. And so the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he replied, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had made him well. Daily Bread. Do you want to get well? In our generation, we have great medical resources. Most physical issues can be easily resolved. However, so many people suffer with problems mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The Bible has the solution. God has the power to heal and transform all areas of our lives. But sometimes our thinking is so paralyzed. We're afraid of coming to Christ and losing our freedom in the world. Sometimes we're lazy and don't want to make the commitment. Or we have a defeated mentality and think following Christ wouldn't change anything. But Jesus asked each of us this question: do you want to get well? When we look at ourselves sitting in our problems and weaknesses, we have to seriously ask, do I want to keep living this way? Jesus is inviting us to him, saying there's a better way, getting up and following him by faith. Second, get up, pick up your mat, and walk. When Jesus tells the man to get up, pick up your mat, and walk, he is commanding an action that requires faith and obedience. Maybe there are areas in your life where Jesus is calling you to take a step of faith, which might mean leaving your comfort zone or letting go of something hindering your spiritual growth. It could be a sinful habit, a harmful relationship, or an attitude of unbelief. Whatever it is, Jesus is calling us to get up and move forward. True faith in Christ compels us to move forward, leaving behind our old ways and stepping into our new life in him. As we do that, he empowers us to make the changes he is prompting in our hearts. He will help us as we follow him. Jesus wants our faith in action. Let's listen to his call and walk in obedience to His voice. Prayer. Lord, please help me to trust in Jesus' power to transform my life and to obey His call to move forward in faith and embrace my new life in Him. One word, I want to get well.